From the back roads and courthouse steps of small-town South Carolina to the late-night studio where the mics never sleep, this is where decisions, rumors, and real stories collide. You're tuned in to the Pot Stirrer Podcast with Jazzy Jeff. Real talk, local issues, no fluff.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in. It is Sunday evening here all across Seneca and all across Oconee County. It's Jazzy Jeff here. Welcome you into a very special Sunday edition night of the Pot Stirrer Podcast. No, this show will not be like 60 Minutes, and I'm not Morley Safer or Harry Reasoner either. Well, of course, tonight we're going to be talking about some big things that are happening in Seneca, and a lot of folks already know that coming up Tuesday night, beginning at 6 o'clock, there is a big council meeting, and I have almost said to this effect that this potentially could be one of the biggest city council meetings in quite some time, with all that has gone on since June, I might add. And of course, since June, we've heard different things about the budget, the proposals, the $15 monthly water charge, and tonight, we kind of want to bring Dana Moore in. And Dana, I want to welcome you into the show this evening. I appreciate you taking the opportunity to be in here. He is the representative to Seneca City Council, having served 18 years on council. And back over in the corner, if you look in the screen, there's a bald-headed guy here. Some of you may know him as Henry Ramirez of Upstate Medical Associates, a well-known, respected doctor who kept me alive, by the way, whenever other doctors wanted me dead anyway, but Henry, over there, for some reason, just kept me alive. You knew what you were doing, right, Henry?
With help. God's help.
And we're glad to have him in the studio tonight. We're going to be talking a little bit about some things, but Dana, I want to set the scene with you, and I guess the big question is, how in the world did we get here in this mess?
Okay, well, let's start off and a little bit of a timeline on how we got here. The last 2 weeks of May, the council members in small groups went in and we met with staff and reviewed the budget and asked questions about the budget as far as expenditures and revenue. There were basically, we got our questions answered during those sessions. On the June 2nd, the council was presented with the formal budget. All of the budgets for the city were approved with unanimously, except for Light and Water. And Light and Water passed with a 5-4 vote. And that budget for Light and Water included the flat $15 flat fee over all of our water users. And that was the point of dissension between myself and some of the other council members. On the 30th of June, we had our council meeting. Before it, we have to have, once budget is presented, you have to wait 2 weeks, at least 14 days. And on the 30th, we did second reading, and we did the public hearing prior to, and had a number of people come in and express their concerns over the budget itself. Once again, all the budgets on second approval were approved unanimously, with the exception, once again, of the Light and Water budget. And the Light and Water budget failed with a 4-5 vote this time. And so we, at that point in time, had to do a continuing resolution, which says we're going to keep the 24-25 budget, 25-26 budget running as is until we can get a new budget in place.
So let me ask this, that right there, the $15 monthly water charge, that has been the contingents of all part of what was going on because of just the way that it would represent and bill out across the Seneca Light and Water. Was there ever an original budget? I need to ask this question because a lot of folks have asked me, was there ever original budget that just had the cost of service before this $15 fee ever came into existence? Was there a budget that was put together that was just cost of service?
During the last 2 weeks of May, we had two budgets presented to us.
Okay.
One was the flat fee and one was cost of service.
Okay.
And during those meetings, we expressed our desire as to which one we would have chosen. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So go forward a little bit. 7/14, July 14th. We have a council meeting. We do light and water. It's approved 7-2 with cost of service in place for our revenue side of the house. 7/28, we have a council meeting. No action taken, even though it was 14 days after, and we could have actually reviewed the budget and at that point in time. Now, Tuesday night will be our council meeting. Prior to that council meeting, there will be a public hearing again.
Okay.
And I'm sure there'll be a number of people that are on both sides that are going to come talk. And then we will present second reading of the budget for light and water with cost of service. So, and you asked a good question there in the aspect of what is the difference between the flat fee and how does it affect us versus cost of service?
Exactly.
Okay. There's over 17,000 water users in place. Okay. There are about 7,500 power users, electrical power users. Okay. So at this point where we were at, the $15 flat fee would have been charged across all those water customers, many of which just get water from the city.
And they don't get power or sewer. No. They just get the water service.
Just get water. And that money would have then been used, a majority of that money, not all of it. Some of it was still going to the water department because the water department's got some work to do. And so, but the majority of that money would have gone to paying the electrical bill.
Okay. Okay.
Now,
Follow you.
So I had the people that voted against the flat fee had a concern about inequity because you had water customers paying for something
that they didn't
get. And I guess what folks need to understand here, our rate structures, all of our rate structures have two bases. They have a base fee, which is to cover the cost of the maintenance, the meters, the
transformers and things like
those
that.
Kind of things.
Right.
Pays for that. And then there is a rate structure, okay, which pays either 1,000 gallons of water or kilowatt hour.
Correct.
Okay.
Right.
So it's a two-part rate.
Right.
Okay. And the flat fee was to add an additional $15 to that base rate for all water users.
So that would have been increasing what I know now to 119% is what it would have taken.
It would have increased the base fee 119%. That is correct. So cost of service is like what it says. It is cost of service. We've worked a long time with our consultants and everybody moving us in a direction where we know how much it costs us to service water. We know how much it costs us to service sewer. We know how much it costs us to service electricity. And we keep our cost for each one of those to the point where we are covering our costs. You need to know what it costs you to be able to pay for it.
You have
correct?
basically three independent businesses. You have power, water, and sewer.
That's correct. Now, part of our sewer, of course, is just a straight pass-through from Joint Regional Sewer Authority.
And they're increasing that from them. That's not coming from the city.
There's a 3% increase coming from them.
Okay.
So I tried, and the other thing I guess that everybody or some of us had a problem with when we voted against the flat fee was it truly affected our low volume users. And I used my aunt just for that case. Now, my aunt's 103, still lives by herself, rest her soul. She is a water and power user, no sewer, just water and power. If we had taken the $15 flat fee, her monthly bill would have gone up $15. Okay. If you use the cost of service model, her monthly bill would go up $6.72. Okay. So we were disproportionately affecting the lower income and lower volume users and supplementing
The higher volume.
Higher volume use. Our one major industrial large electrical user, okay?
Mm-hmm.
If with a flat fee, his bill would have gone up $180 a year, $15 a month, just like everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
With cost of service, his bill will go up. It's 4.5%, right?
Mm-hmm.
But his bill will go up his yearly
bill now
will go up $28,417. So he would have loved to have been used a flat fee.
Well, it sounds like to me this is a gross inequity here.
It is.
That we're penalizing our lower tier, unfortunately, our senior citizens.
Yep.
We're really putting a nail in their coffin. If you're on a fixed income, it's going to be tough for them to survive.
I had the city run numbers for my aunt's bill, and we talked about hers. My daughter's bill, who gets water and sewer. Her bill would have gone up $2.92 a month versus $15 a month. My bill would go up let's see if I got it, for the year, $80.23 versus $180. Now I'm a single guy. It's just me by myself,
Right.
so I'm not a large user.
Right.
Okay, but yeah, now there's a lot of scare tactics I think going on right now, telling people that their utility bills are going to go up anywhere from. And I've seen numbers.
Well, it started out at 50. It started out at 52%, and then some of these figures came back down. And the numbers that have been published in that certain newspaper that you see me post all about is grossly, the numbers don't match what I've been given.
They're not, and I've seen any numbers anywhere from 18 to 40 to 45%.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what I did, I asked our utility folks. I said, and this information is part of the information that was requested by the Journal that they said we were stonewalling them on.
Yeah, they throw Josh under the bus in the editorial Saturday.
It took over 80 hours just to pull this information together. So it took a while, and they were impatient. Let's just say that. I'll be nice. I'll say impatient.
Okay, got you. I follow
So
you.
if I take, and what I did, I took the number one, the very top user in a residential classification for electricity, the number one water user, and the number one sewer user. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If you add all those numbers up, those folks, if you said that's one customer, okay, their monthly bill would be $1,009 right now.
Okay.
Okay. The increase is $48.47 a month. That's a 4.8% increase. 4.8%. Okay.
I follow you. Oh, Dane, I follow you completely. I get it.
Now, if I take my average residential user, their monthly bill, and I once again, this is all the average for all three of these classifications. Their average bill is $207 a month.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The increase using cost of service is $11.06. That's 5.34%. That's one of the high ones.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If I take my commercial users, okay, and once again did the same thing. Number one user, average user. Number one user, their monthly bill would be $52,478. Okay.
Okay. I follow you.
Their increase is $2,963, which is a 5.6% increase. Not 30, not 40, not 18, whatever other numbers we use.
Mm-hmm.
If I take my average commercial user, their monthly bill right now is $527. Their increase is $24.94. That's a 4.7% increase. Now, a lot of these factors and differences in percentage is based upon what size water tap do you have? Is
Right.
it 3/4 inches? Is it 1 inch? Is it 2 inches? Is it whatever, and some other flow factors that are built into that. But as you can see, we're asking for somewhere between 4.5% and 5.5% is what comes out. Not $1,000 a month, not 38%, not 40%. It works out and to be less than.
Well, I do want to say something too, that in one of the meetings of the council meetings, we had our retired Seneca Light and Water director, Bob Ferris, and Bob and his wife came before council and spoke about the differences, and he was very adamant that cost of service. And I'm going to give W.C. Honeycutt here credit a little bit, because he asked our current budget guru, which is Josh Ritchie's, in that council meeting, which is better? Is it cost of service or is it the flat $15? And the answer out of Josh Ritchie's mouth was cost of service. So that's two individuals right there. Bob Ferris, longtime former director that retired, and you got that. Actually, Josh is actually the current light and water utility director.
He is.
And doing budgeting. So you have two of those. And everybody else that I have talked to always say cost of service, because you have an inequity when you do the flat fee. It's going to penalize one or the other. And you want this thing to be fair. That's all that you're asking for, is it to be fair. And it's not fair to the citizens.
All we're asking, what we, with cost of service, have been asking for. And when people ask me what's going on, I say, well, the charges we're getting from Santee Cooper are going up. So in order for us to cover and be able to pay our bills, we're going up a similar percentage. We're not asking for a god-awful amount of money.
Right. And there's other places that is actually going up a god-awful. So Seneca is actually still
we're cheaper,
blessed and lucky, and we're still cheaper.
We're cheaper than Blue Ridge. We're cheaper than Duke. Cheaper than Duke. Duke just went to the North Carolina
Public Service Commission and asked for a huge increase.
23%. And they're probably going to get 12 to 14.
Hold on just a second. I want to go ahead and bring Henry Ramirez real quick, because I've got a couple more I want to come back that we need to follow. Henry, you've been listening to this conversation, and again, as a longtime business owner here, you have been involved with all sorts of different organizations and stuff, and you've taken care of a lot of us here in Oconee County through many years. What is your thoughts on this?
Well, first of all, Jeff, let me thank you for having me here today. It's important to be here because I want to thank you personally for what you're doing for the community. I'm here to tell you today that you're not alone. I'm here for the community, and I always have been. Let me explain who I am and why I'm here. Well, first of all, my name is Henry Ramirez. I'm a retired physician assistant. I was the first PA to own his own practice in the state of South Carolina. I was also the first PA to be in the South Carolina Army National Guard. I'm from Davenport, Iowa, the oldest of 5 children. I went to Mankato State College in Minnesota for 2 years during the Vietnam era. I was going to be drafted, so I joined the Navy. I worked for 3 years in the Charleston Naval Hospital ER and 1 year in the Beaufort Marine Corps Air Station. I went to PA school in 1973. At that time, it was called the Medic Program and Physician Assistant Program. I met Dr. Richardson in 1974, and in approximately September 1974, I became his full-time employee. He was in partnership with several other doctors at Oconee Family Practice here in Seneca. Dr. Richardson eventually split from that group, and it was just Dr. Richardson and myself. Dr. Richardson took a new partner, a local physician. In a few years, Dr. Richardson wanted to retire, and then took another partner, Dr. Randy Cohen, who eventually moved to Augusta, Georgia, after being 3 years with the practice. With the advice of Dr. Don Richardson and Dr. Jim Williams, I bought 50% shares of Oconee Family Practice. I built a new office on Radio Station Road with the help of Sam Thrift, who is well known in this area. After 5 years, I split with my partner and sold my shares to him. I built a new office on Wells Highway and named it Upstate Medical Associates. I hired another local physician and added 3 to 4 mid-level providers. I came from a poor family, and I was not the smartest PA, but I related to people and the businesses in Oconee County. I listened to their needs. My strengths were I listened and I cared. I did not try to figure out a person's medical problem by trying this and trying that. I did have help with my supervised physician, but actually I referred my patients to the best specialists that I knew in the upstate. My patients came back and thanked me and spread my name amongst the community. I will always remember what Dr. Richardson told me. If you do the right thing, good things will happen to you. I am living proof of that. So why am I here? Well, I sold my practice to Dr. Jared Richardson, a family practice doctor that I employed, because I wanted to go to an independent for this community. I could have sold to 3 large, huge corporate health practices, but I chose not to because of the community. I sold this practice in December 2025. So why am I here? I'm here for the people in Oconee County and the city. The political aspect has trickled down from the national level, the state level, the county level, and the city level. I don't like what's taking place. You cannot get the truth in a lot of things. However, I will tell you, in my mind, the county is doing much better thanks to Matthew Durham. It's called transparency and accountability. I'm here today to ask the people in power in the city to do the right thing. The light and water budget, the Seneca business license fee, 1% sales tax, is too much for one tax year. Do the right thing. And this includes the media. Tell the truth in the media. That's all the people in a county want, is the truth. They want truth and accountability. And how did we get here? I know we didn't get here overnight. This has been going on for several years. The people in power, the national, state, county, city level, have a backstop. It's called taxes. The best analogy I can give you is you can take a horse to the water, but you can't make him drink it. I'm sorry, however, some people are pushing that horse's head down into the water and make him drink this dirty, slimy water. And if that horse could rear its head and talk, it would say, "Why are you doing this to me? Why? After all that I've done for you, all the power I've given to you helps you in your life, and you're doing this to me now?" So I'm asking the people to do the right thing. I did. Don't give up on America, or America will no longer be here. So Jeff, now if you have any questions, I'll take them.
I don't know if I have any questions. I think that right there pretty much sums it up. I want to address something that you did say about the media. Most folks know that I went to the J.A. Gallimore School of Broadcasting. And I learned a lot from the old man, and that's what we called it, Mr. Gallimore. Mr. Gallimore would post these stinging editorials, and he would tell, but he always backed it up with facts. And that's what I try to do here on this podcast. And I know that there is select few people right now inside the city administration, and I'll say even Mayor Ronnie O'Kelly. He hates my guts right now. I know that for a fact. I'm enemy number one. But I would have never been enemy number one had he done the right thing. When you look at me and you shake my hand and say, we're going to fix the city, because we've had conversations, and the conversations was, yeah, we know we got a problem. We're going to fix it. And you turn around, and the night you were sworn in, you immediately go up on 9% on your power. That's not fixing the problem. That's addressing another issue. And again, I hate to say this, and Dana, I was upset when you came in here, and I again, who is responsible for this? Well, according to everything I know, the city charter and the state of South Carolina says the current mayor is the chief executive officer of the city of Seneca.
That's correct.
And
with the form of government we have, we have a mayor council form of government. So it's the mayor's responsibility to issue the budget. Howbeit Scott Mulder and his crew puts the budget together, then presents it, and then it goes before the council votes on it. But if the council is not getting all of the information that they need to make a just decision, do not blame Dana Moore. Do not blame Lakeisha Benson. Do not blame W.C. Honeycutt. Do not blame Denise Rosman. Do not blame Joel Ward. And then that leaves three. Actually, at least four. The fourth one I'm not sure about, because I respected the fourth one. But the other three are running the show for somebody else. Somebody else is pulling the strings. And you folks out there in the community, you need to be aware of this. I've told this over and over till I'm blue in the face. But anyway, Dana, I'm going to let you go back. I've got on my soapbox for tonight. I may have to have some nitro here in a minute, Henry. You'll give me mouth to mouth?
No, thank you.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
All right. So that sort of wraps up, I think, some of the things I really wanted to say about where our cost of service and what Tuesday night's council meeting on the budgetary side for light and water is going to do. The other thing on the budget, on the agenda for Tuesday night, and this one is coming at us fast and furious, and this is the 1 cent municipal sales tax. Now, this was signed into law by the governor on May 19th. Okay. Mm-hmm. It affects 3 counties in the state of South Carolina: Beaufort County, Greenville County, and Oconee County, because we're the only 3 counties in the state that do not have a countywide 1 cent sales tax. Okay.
Okay.
Now, what the law says is, first of all, you've got to this has to go for at least 20% of the money raised by this 1 cent sales tax has to go to reducing the city or municipality taxes on property for owner-occupied houses, 4% housing, okay? Not somebody that's got a piece of property that they're renting, but owner-occupied, okay? So if I look at that, and the second thing that it says is it has to be voted on in a referendum during a general election year. And that's the rush here.
That's why everybody's trying to get this pushed through.
Everybody's trying to get it pushed through, because we have to have it to the voter registration folks by August 17th for it to be on the fall ballot as a resolution. Okay.
May I interject? Yeah. How long have we known about this?
Just about May.
Since May.
But it's August.
Yeah, we've been working behind the scenes to do a lot to get us ready for this, and so we have to have the vote. And as council, what we're doing, and what our job here is to get it on on a referendum. We
The voters are ultimately going to decide
They
this.
will. They will decide.
The city council is going to get it where it goes to the referendum. And it's just like these school referendums we hear about where schools want to raise taxes to pay for new schools and stuff.
We have to, like I say, use at least 20% of the money raised for property tax relief. We have to spell out capital projects or other things that the money will be used for, and that's all it can be used for. It can't be moved to something else. Okay. We approached this with a different aspect in that we wanted to eliminate or almost come as close to elimination of the city portion of property taxes as we could. Now, to do that, you have to and this lasts for 8 years. That's the time limit of it. So you have to, over 8 years, you have to look at growth rate, how many new homes are going to be built, what's going to be their value, what the appraised value of property going up. So there's a lot of the behind the scenes massaging and trying to figure out what you want to do. You don't want to reserve too much money for the property taxes, because you can't move it over and use it for the capital projects.
Right.
If you haven't used it as part of property taxes at the end of 3 years, it can cover at the end of the 8 years, it can cover 3 additional years of property tax.
Right.
So what we've decided to do and what we're going forward with is taking 55% of this money, which is estimated to be about $4 million a year for us, and that will, as best we can determine, eliminate property
clarify that.
City property taxes, not what the county is,
right,
not what school district is saying, adding in there, but the city portion of your property taxes. Okay.
And that could be a savings anywhere from, well, just say, for example, for me, it's going to be about a $400 something savings just in the city property. Just for me. That's me.
Mine's about $513.
Okay. We're about the same then.
Okay. So, but one thing, like I say, we have to do is we have to define out where's this money, the other 45% going to go. And that has to be listed on the referendum. Okay. So, what we're looking at, you have to have a tier 1, which says, I'm going to do these, and if I got any money left over, then we have a tier 2 list. Mm-hmm. Okay. So we're looking at $500,000 a year for upgrading and paving of roads within our city-owned streets, which we have a lot of.
We do.
Okay. Cemetery rehabilitation for
Mountain View,
and
over on South 6th Street next to the Blue Ridge Community Center.
I'm going brain dead on the name of that one. The Cherry Road water line extension, which is down next to old J.P. Stevens plant, going over into Pickens County there.
Because we serve water down there to those customers.
We do, and they're trying to. There's some work going on there, and we need to increase the size and expand that line. Cunningham Park, which those Southside school parks, putting in shelters, bathrooms, those kind of things. Fire station upfit, and related equipment. That helps us, and will take some of the tax burden off the people of paying for some of the equipment that we need. Historical, we got listed on here the old Seneca depot. We're trying to work with the railroad department to see if we can do something with it, maybe tear it down, move it, or do something with it. That's on there. And improvements to the Gillette Community Center. Those are the tier 1 kind of things. Downtown, for tier 2, if we have money left over, then it'll be things like street improvements, streetscapes downtown, the Blue Ridge Park over next to old Blue Ridge High School. Upgrade of it, some work at the Schaefer Complex, park shelters at Pine Street.
Wasn't a renovation of Gillette in there too? Yeah. That was in tier 1.
That's in tier 1.
Henry, you had a quick question over there?
Well, no, but Dana, I have learned so much tonight. So my question is, why don't the taxpayers know this stuff here? Where is the media in this here?
I can answer that, Henry. They're not. When you have a media that's twisting it for their own, okay? when they're doing it their own how they want it, you're not getting the truth. The people have told me in just the last 3 months that this podcast has been on, they have told me that they have found out more that's going on in Seneca, in Oconee County, than they have in the previous 20 years.
Well, the one thing people I've heard have some concerns about is that this 1 cent sales tax is going to go in. It's going to be another source of revenue for specialized projects, and city council or administration or somebody can take that money and use it for something else. Mm-hmm. The list of capital projects that are on the referendum in Tier 1 and Tier 2 are the only things that money can be used for. If we try to do something other than that, then we're breaking the law at that point in time. And so that money is restricted to those items. It's about, and Greenville, this got pushed through because of Greenville County. The city of Greenville wanted this bad. They're the ones that worked behind the scenes with the state to get it pushed through. They had their list and everything ready.
Beaufort County, Greenville, and Oconee are the only three. Because the rest of the counties in the state out of 43, the rest of them, 40 counties have.
They're the 43 counties.
Oh, 40, that's right. I'm sorry. 43 counties actually have this.
That's right.
So they're already making use of it. They already have it. Matter of fact, Anderson County has it.
Yeah.
They've built a bunch of schools because of it. Listen, I'm okay if I know that it's going to be used for the purpose it's intended, but we have a trust factor right now, guys.
We have a communication
We
problem.
have a communications problem, and that communications problem is it's not getting out. The reporting in the news is not getting out as it should. There should be a news article that says, okay, here's what's going to happen, here's what's going to be, and here's the final. That's not what's happening. It's being twisted forever how they want, and it's not just local, Henry. It's national, it's regional, it's state, it's everywhere. We have a media problem.
Yeah. One thing I would like to see at City Council, I've been to several meetings recently, is a question and answer. The people there in the community would like to ask questions to the council members type thing.
You'd like to have
an answer.
You'd like to have an old question and answer session as it was years ago.
Right now. That's only right. We also need a bigger place. And I have told this to our mayor, that we need a bigger place. We can have an organized setting, Seneca Auditorium or someplace type thing. Maybe the new amphitheater. I have no idea where it should be type thing. But the people need to be represented.
Well, for example, the amount of communications that we have now and the ways that we can reach people. I'm going to give a shout out to Tim Hall. Tim Hall does a post. As the mayor of Walhalla, he keeps his city up to date. We have this same thing going on. We actually do have a little bit of transparency that is finally breaking through, but that's in the other municipalities. Right now, they think having coffee with the mayor is going to bring out 600,000 people, and they're going to have coffee with Ronnie O'Kelly. That's not going to happen.
Well, my concern, and I understand why he's doing it.
I do.
It's one person,
right?
Yeah.
Collectively, the council,
so
all of
even
them.
Even though I'm talking about he's limiting the coffee to one person.
Oh, that's not. See that?
I mean, that means the max you can do is 52 people a year.
Yeah.
We got 8,200, 8,400 people in the city.
I mean, well, don't you think it'd be great to have a town hall meeting? I mean, that's the big thing now. I mean, October the 15th, Oconee County Council is going to have a town hall meeting, and they're going to update folks on a lot of things. And again, I think that's part of the thing with transparency. A good move, I'll say this, moving the city council meetings to YouTube. Yeah. Because let me tell you, if you... people were so mad. How do we watch it? Well, you got to go on the website and start scrolling and just keep looking until you find the date. But now with YouTube, it's there. You can find them and they're archived.
Yes.
That's a good move. And that's a first start of having these meetings open where people can actually see it, because the rewind button is more important now that you can go back and say, well, did you really say that or did you not say that? Yeah. So there's checks and balances. Listen, I know that I've kept y'all past the 8:30 mark here.
That's fine.
And I know this was kind of an important conversation. Do you have anything else you want to wrap up with? Or
No, the two things I really want to talk about tonight were how we got to where we're at, what's going to happen Tuesday night, what is the difference between the flat fee and cost of service and the inequities that it had there. And I want to talk and try to clear the air up a little bit on the 1 cent sales tax. I appreciate the opportunity to come out and be able to talk about those things.
I do.
I need to ease out the door here just in a minute.
I know you got to go do
I gotta
some
have
things.
A prior commitment I need to go take care of.
Well, I do. Before you walk out, I am going to address this real quick. Henry, you might want to listen to this too. I'm going to address this real quick here, and then I'll open up and we'll talk about some other things. Again, if you had the paper and you read the paper this weekend, there was an editorial in there. And let me tell you something. It is plain to see. For the folks that know me, I have been calling this out for many years. The twisted amount, Henry, it talks about the misinformation here. Again, in the editorial, it says all of this is led by Dana Moore. Okay? Several members have splintered off and are going against Mayor Ronnie O'Kelly. Now, have in mind, we're going against. No, there's nobody going against. This is, you are an elected official. You're supposed to do the good of the people. You are doing what you were elected to do.
I was elected, Jeff, and when I first ran 18 years ago, my goal, and if you ever got one of my little mailers, it says I'm doing what's right for all citizens of this city. And that's what I've tried to do, and that's what I continue to try to do. And if the paper wants to blame me or if somebody else wants to blame me for doing what is right, I will take that badge all day long.
And sleep well at night. But then it goes on to try to blast Utilities Director Josh Ritchie's. It just keeps on, and then it goes down. And I have to give Dana or Denise Rosman a little kudos here. Dana had a little bit of, I call it testicular fortitude. And that's a nice way to put certain words. But she, when asked for her thoughts by our news editor, she told the truth. She said, I don't trust us. You don't trust us. Told us that since she didn't trust us, that we reported false information. Well, guess what? We still don't know if any of those numbers have been given out by the Seneca Journal, even though we know that some of them didn't go to Seneca High School, because we did have some hard-nosed teachers at Seneca High School.
Miss Bruce taught me how to do math.
Yes, and if you had Miss Bruce, you knew a few things or two. But again, the point of it is, it goes back, the reason I exist is because I want the correct information. I'm invested here. I was born and raised here, and I feel that my grandparents didn't work down that cotton mill at South 6th Street for 40-something years and pay their taxes and live a comfortable life at 1101 East Main Street just to have it's been the last 8 years. Prior to that, we didn't have this issue. The city was great on financial footing, and then all of a sudden, something happened. And now, who is in charge? The person in charge is Ronnie O'Kelly. The person prior to him was Dan Alexander. And I'm going to leave it at that. I don't think there's anything else I need to say. I need people to make their own. All of this is available online. They can go look at everything. You just got to go do the homework. And I hate to say that. All right, I'm going to let you go. Henry, do you have any final things before you go?
No, thanks for having me.
I appreciate it. I really do. Henry, I appreciate all you do, and I appreciate y'all. And again, thank you so much for joining us tonight here in the studio. It is officially 8:42 here on the Podster podcast. And again, I want to thank all of those wonderful folks for coming in, Dana Moore, and getting the record kind of straight on what was going on within the city here this evening. I do appreciate that. All right. Well, let me give you an update of what we're going to be doing here. We are Tuesday night. We are going to be broadcasting the city council meeting live, and we will have news and information concerning all of that coming up at 6 o'clock on Tuesday. Again, this will be for the Seneca Light and Water budget vote. We will find out how we proceed. The other big thing is about the business license. And again, the business license has not been increased in over 13-something years, and that right now is a big stickler that what's going on. A lot of the businesses are talking about that it's too much, and again, those things have not been raised in over 13 years. But my other thing is that none of that was addressed during the actual budget process, which is the general fund. So that's already passed. That's already a done deal. We're already operating on the general fund for the 26-27 budget year. But yet, all of a sudden, that's something that just started coming up. And if you are a subscriber to the paper, you got a little piece of paper in there. Another thing that has happened, and I want to address this, is some water problems. Some folks down that are on Seneca Light and Water are complaining or having a big issue about water issues and lines busting and other things. And we're going to address that at a little bit later time. I'm going to send a couple of emails out and see if I can get a couple of answers on that. But yeah, some of our good listeners and good friends are having water issues, and we're going to follow up on that. And I know that there's some other things going to it. On the text line here, why does the gas tax go to Oconee roads paid in Oconee? Well, because that's what gas tax? I mean, I know that we're paying it, but the amount of gas tax that we've got back into Oconee County has been slim to none. And that's a part of the problem with the roads. Listen, the roads are a mess. We all know that. Everywhere you drive around the county, the roads are a complete mess. So there you go. All right, 8:45. If you've got a comment or a question, I tell you what, if you got a comment or a question, you can reach out to us at, let me give you the number, 864-247-5913. That is the number if you've got a call or a comment real quick. We'll take a couple of calls before we get out of here. A couple of things that we are working on is, of course, the Corinth-Shiloh Tax District, the fire district. Gentlemen and ladies, I'm not sure where that's going to head. It has turned into a, how do you describe it? I don't even know if there's words to describe it. It has begotten to a mess. Accusations have been flying for the last several weeks and months, and now just this a total mess. It is a utter complete crap show down there, and I still feel that the residents are in the middle of the brouhaha, I should say. Well, election night is coming up Tuesday. After the city council meeting, we will switch gears and get ready to have election results here on the Pot Stirrer podcast. We've got Barry Sanders will be joining us, so we've got a big shoe coming up on Tuesday with the election. And I'm pretty sure we're going to have a runoff coming up in about 2 weeks after that. I just don't see anybody getting the 50% plus one vote for this race to replace Lindsey Graham, who passed away. And we'll have to wait and see. If I had a vote in this now, which I did vote, I kind of believe that we're going to see Ralph Norman and Darlene Graham. I think those will be the two candidates in the runoff, and your guess is as good as mine is who's going to win in the runoff. We'll just have to wait and see. Well, I appreciate you spending a little time with us here on this Sunday evening of the Pod Stirrer podcast. This show is available immediately following. You can go to the website, and that website is jazzygeffpodstirrer.com. And you'll find the latest show and some of our previous shows if you want to watch. They're available on the website and the YouTube channel. You can share with your friends. Also, too, the show is on our social media page, my personal page, which is open to the public. And you can share it with all your friends on social media. Again, Tuesday night, City Council meeting, 6 o'clock, and we will be on air with that coverage. And once that is complete, we'll switch gears and bring you election results. Mike checks in real quick on our social media page and says, why didn't Mulder say what the Tier 1 and Tier 2 projects were when he already knew? I can't answer that, but as part of the state law, they're supposed to. They were supposed to have already announced that, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to have that over here. I wanted to have Dana to answer that question because a lot of folks were asking me what the Tier 1, Tier 2 projects. I didn't know. And there's nowhere they've been posted of what they actually are. I haven't found anything, and maybe if somebody can find it from the city website, I didn't. So that's one of the reasons why I wanted him to come here and explain all the different Tier 1 and different tier projects. Okay, got a text message from another gentleman online. Jeff, did they ever figure out if the city was having to pay for the dispatch moving to the county My understanding is that they're still working on that. There's not an official figure yet. But I tell you what I will do. I will follow up with that. And we're making reference to the Seneca 911 Dispatch Center closing down at midnight August the 1st and incorporated into the Oconee County Emergency Dispatch Center at the Sheriff's Department, the Law Enforcement Center in Walhalla. Again, I was never against the merge, but how it went down, and for what I'm referring to, that during this budget process, it came apparent that the county had voted to allow that Seneca was allegedly supposed to have to pay $240,000. But in the Seneca budget, Councilmember Lakeisha Benson asked Scott Mulder how much it was going to cost the city of Seneca. And unfortunately, Scott Mulder said it wasn't going to cost anything. However, the agreement that we got in possession of showed that it was going to be $244,000, I think was the official figure. And the other sad thing of it is, too, that a lot of folks, they did lose their job. I think the county may have kept 3 or 4 of the city dispatchers and moved them to the county, but there were a lot that lost their jobs. We went down this path before, and there was some issues. There was a reason why we didn't merge the dispatch centers back into the late 90s, early 2000s. And this plan had already been in place before, but I don't remember, and I can't find any information, so I'm not going to speculate on that. But from what I know of emergency services, this actually does cut down a little bit on response times because, for example, if you called 911 in the city of Seneca, and you would have to be transferred to the county if you were outside or wherever you were at. You would still have to be transferred to the county for 911. So, again, you're taking that cut off time to get emergency services rolling. And, again, I think it's kind of a better deal to have everything dispatched up under one situation, a one dispatch center. And a lot of folks in the upstate are in that one dispatch where you have your county. You have a central dispatch is what they call it. All right, well, folks, I hope you have a great Monday. And again, Tuesday will be our next show. Of course, I always post information as we need and updates on my personal Facebook page. You can always find me. If you want to stay up to date with what happens, we do our best to bring you the latest news with facts, based on facts. And we share that for you on our social media page. All right, I hope everybody has a great night. It's the Pot Stirrer, Jazzy Jeff here on the Pot Stirrer, Jazzy Jeff, potstirrer.com. Have a great Sunday evening, everybody.
From the back roads and courthouse steps of small-town South Carolina to the late-night studio where the mics never sleep, this is where decisions, rumors, and real stories collide. You're tuned in to the Pot Stirrer Podcast with Jazzy Jeff. Real talk, local issues, no fluff.